Hey guys, Louie here, and I couldn't let the weekend go by without a little discussion about the price moves in silver and gold for that matter. It seems to me that all of our efforts are finally paying off, and while some are waiting to get excited until we bump past the $20 number, I think that that silver and gold represent still a fantastic entry point, and you can just see the market exploding higher, and there is so much further to go, in my opinion. And of course, I've been following this for a few years now. We have had false breakouts before that were pushed back, but never have we had the world in the current scenario. We are literally writing monetary history. And I believe that our governments are losing control of fiat currency. I think that's what's happening. I think that you and I are fortunate enough to be in the right community at the right time with the right information to protect ourselves as well as to capitalize on what is happening. And it was, no surprise that I was down here buying SLV a couple of days ago before the breakout. As I had said before, I was looking for, if it pushed through 1750, I think we would see the 18s. It looks like it's going to blow higher. And the news in the market could not be worse. The stock market, while there's barely been a return over the last couple of years, despite all the volatility, has finally taken a pretty negative turn. The Fed can't decide if they want to ease or tighten or stay pat or just avoid Trump's tweets. The Chinese are in full retaliation mode, and recession is growing throughout the world as debt explodes. So the thing that I wanted to cover in this video, besides being extremely bullish on silver and gold right here, is that our community has been changing over the years, and frankly, most of the people that were here 4, 5, 6 years ago are not here anymore. As this market deteriorated over time, people gave up and moved away, or at least perhaps they sold their stacks, perhaps they parked their stacks somewhere, and now they're on to trading Bitcoin or something. But it has been a long, long period of time that we have been building this base in silver and gold. And what's obvious to me is we, for the most part, on YouTube, have an American perspective. We have a USA perspective on precious metals. And as a result of precious metals being priced in dollars, as oil is, the petrodollar, well, there is also the precious metal dollar. And I think what it does is it anesthetizes our brains to the reality of what is going on. So while many people are skeptical that silver or gold will continue this run, and I can expand this chart out to show you the move to 50, but you know that. It was not that long ago. Here was the false breakout to 20 where it got pushed back, but for all the manipulation. And now with foreign governments in an adversarial mode, and that, thanks to our current political climate, the world has become adversarial, right? So when countries like the Chinese start amassing stockpiles of precious metals, when they let loose of their currency and devalue it, when they begin quantitative easing, the rosy road to hell, as I would call it, which everybody seems to be in favor of, precious metals are showing the move. You just can't see it in the US. Okay? This is the deal, and I know, there are stackers from outside the US, but I recently made a comment to a good friend of mine. Why aren't you guys talking about this? Whether you are in the Eurozone, you're in Australia, you're in Taiwan, you're in Brazil, why aren't you talking about what's happening? Because what is happening is evident outside of the USA. And here I'm going to show you the evidence of that. I'm on Kitco, and this is a price of silver in US dollars, and there's the move to 1750, 1740 or so. We just can't quite get through 1750, but a push through 1750 is going to push us up very high, very fast. That's why I'm buying the call options presently, because I think the move will be large, and I think there is a floor. Why do I think there's a floor? Let's look at some other countries. Bear with me here. This is a wonderful Kitco chart which allows you to price silver in any currency in the world. Watch what happens as we move around the world. Hold 1 second. All right, here we are, same website, but I have changed the currency to Australian dollars. The price of silver in Australian dollars. Okay, they're having some trouble in their economy. They're having a real estate meltdown. I don't know offhand if they're quantitative easing or not, but look at silver in Australian dollars. Let me get up here. Okay, this is no surprise that in Australian dollars, they are seeing the strong dollar and the weak Australian dollar, but look at the result in silver. A breakout, just recently, a few months ago, from 19 all the way up to 25. Okay, way bigger than we have experienced. But this is a signal of the world falling apart, right? Let's look at some other countries. Anybody from Australia? Please pipe in. Why aren't you guys making videos showing the moves from 22 to 26 in your currency? Have you gotten out of your stock markets? Have you gotten out of your currencies and parked some money in precious metals? It's happening in Australia. Let's take a look at, let's check the euro. Euro falling apart, will clearly be a collapsing currency before too long. Let's get out to the weekly chart. Okay, here we are with the euro. This is a high, highest high since May of 2017. Okay, clearly enormous breakout in the euro. Let's look at Canada. I haven't checked Canada recently. 23 is the price in Canada, and let's go to the weekly chart. There it is again. Let's see, Canada. Let's look at the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen has recently been touted as the poster child for quantitative easing and national debt as a percentage of GDP. I think I heard that they were up around 300% debt to GDP. A very stagnant economy as a result of all their quantitative easing. I think I also heard 60% of all Japanese ETFs are owned by the government. This is our future. This is where our politicians are leading us to become Japan-like, to not worry about debt. What's going on over there? Let's get out to the weekly chart. And there we go. So Japanese, let's see, May of 2018. So not as big a move in Japan currently. But let's see where it has been over the last few years. Well, similar scenario that it was at 4,000 yen and now it's at about 1,800. Plenty of room to run in the yen. Let's see if we can find another one. But I would appreciate it if you could post here in the yuan. If from your particular area, are you seeing a more dramatic move in silver than we Americans are seeing? Because I think we need to be woken up a little bit that this is not your grandma's silver market. This is new. This is the world falling apart, as you can see in these charts. Here we are in the yuan, which they are devaluing their currency. If you were Chinese and you had assets, and I realize, billions of Chinese don't, but the ones that do are controlling the monetary system, and you just saw in the last 2 months a move from basically 96 yuan to 123, Do you think that would qualify as a bull market? Absolutely. We are just not seeing it here because our dollar is still strong. But our dollar will weaken. It can't stay this strong. Unless, of course, the rest of the world turns into Banana Republic, and that's possible. But my point here is that the breakout has happened. Why don't you have money in precious metals? You can see the potential. You can see the currency devaluing. This case is made already. I don't think we need to doubt it. I don't know what else to check here. Let's check India. I'm not sure what's up in India, but they are definitely liking silver in India. They've had more restrictions on gold, and of course they're greatly reducing the cash markets because a lot of transactions are in cash in India, and they're trying to de-paper those markets, I think. But in India, here we go. Look at this breakout. Okay, this is a 2017 to 2000. I mean, it's definitely a 2-year breakout, but it shows no sign of weakening. Let's again go out to a longer chart. If you're in India and you see what's happening to your currency, your debt, your government, look at these moves. It is just getting started. And here is what I will leave you with. I'm going to go back to the U.S. currency and leave you with this closing message. All right, I'm going to do a little pumping here because it's warranted, because not everybody is trying to sell you silver. Not everybody just wants to make money off you. Some people actually believe that our world is crumbling. Some people actually have lost confidence in our governments. Some people see what's happening. All right? And I know it's been a long time that people have been, losing money on bullion. But here's what I'll leave you with, the fact that the last run-up to $50, okay, here we are. We're clearly gonna take a stab at it, guys. We're clearly, in my opinion, gonna move up past 20. And we may test the 50% retracement to 25 or the 67% retracement to 36. However, what I will leave you with is my belief. We are early in the move. My belief, things have never been more desperate in the currency world. Things have never been more desperate in the political environment, the trade wars, the currency wars, the outright belligerence between our government and other governments, and the repercussions are coming home, just like they did prior to the Great Depression. Same thing happening again. We can't avoid the world. The world, we will not be okay if the world crashes. We will not be okay if the monetary system inflates to the sky. And what I will leave you with is, wouldn't it be worth making an investment in precious metals right now? Right now, wherever you are, not all your money, not most of your money, some of your money that you can afford to park here for a while. Call it an investment, call it a speculation, call it insurance. I don't care what you call it, but what I'm going to call it is the opportunity of our lifetimes. And I'm getting too old to have a lot longer in my lifetime, but I have seen it, and I see what's happening, and I see where the government is, and I see the general malaise in the population and the ignorance in the population. You guys are on the cutting edge of knowing what's happening. And what I want to tell you is, I think we'll be in the 18s shortly. I think we'll be in the 20s shortly after that. But more importantly, I think where we're headed is above 50. All right? Call me a pumper if you want. But if you check the scenario back when everybody was all scared that, we were going to become communists and whatnot back in the days of the last elections, which was all emotionally driven, right? You look at our economy, you look at our world money supply, our GDP debt to GDP ratio, you look at the devaluations, the currency wars, the coming depression. You may want to expect we will not only test this number, but we could blow past it. Why would we blow past it? Because I think the limits are off. I think the controls are off. I think the manipulation is off. And I think we in our government want inflation. I think we want currency inflation. I think we want devaluation of our currency, as you have seen in all the other countries that are ahead of us devaluing their currencies. This is what we want. This is why Trump wants, to lower interest rates. He wants to see this blow, all right? And when it starts blowing, we are only getting started. And I think a few years from now, you may look back at 50 and say, I remember when silver was 50. So, let me pump a little bit here, okay? Put a little money in silver and don't forget gold, okay? Everybody who's been saying only buy silver for all these years, all right? Guys, they were wrong. You have to be in silver and gold. If not just because of the, I know the ratio is the ratio, but it's more than that. Don't forget about gold. All right, you may want to have a smaller part of your stack in gold and a larger part in silver to play the ratio. I have more in silver than gold, but silver will make a gigantic move at some point. But gold is also going to be your rock. It's going to be more stable. So I think you want to have some of that. And people are making and speculating and making money in precious metals right now as an investment. They're doing it. The world is turning onto it. And as the market crashes and our debt is out of control, expect to move into the 20s. But don't think that we're necessarily going to stop at 50, because things today are far, far worse. They just haven't unraveled yet completely. Okay, appreciate your comments. Sorry for the long ramble. And pumper alert. Okay, I hope got the message across, because I care about you guys and I want you to be protected and I want you to participate in what's coming. Talk to you later.